Hello, this is Banners of North America, episode 5. Today we're interviewing Sterngard of ISIL. We will figure out the correct pronunciation of that very quickly. I'm here with Warbandman. He is the co-host and the leader of SOEL and the second in command. So, with that, I will say, firstly, share the video with whoever you think will share it as well, whoever you think will like the video. And yeah, we'll get right into the questions. Warband, how are you today? And then can you introduce our guests?
Yeah, I'm doing great today. Thanks. It was a good intro. So we have Holokron, Darksbane, and Zaleck. Is it Zaleck or Zaleck?
Zaleck Darksbane too.
Zaleck, Darksbane. First and second in command of the Stern Guard of ISIL clan. Is that the right pronunciation?
Yep, that's right.
And to abbreviate it, just call it SOEL. SOEL.
SOEL.
Yep.
All right. And we would love to get to know some more about your clan and everything because personally I haven't heard of you guys before, so it's always nice to meet a new clan. I do know that you, from talking to you, I know that you are active and persistent Bannerlord, as are I think all the clans that we've interviewed, with
Most
the exception
of them, yes.
Atria.
Yes.
Although even they have dabbled with the mod, so it seems to be pretty fundamental for the Bannerlord community. But with that introduction having been done, is there anything you guys want to say to get us started?
I say Holokron, take it away.
Yeah, go ahead and fire the shots, and then I'll see what I can do, and it's my best of my ability.
All right, well, right into the questions then. We'll start with the background information of your clan. Firstly, I will go with the naming of it. What is Stern Guard and what is ISIL, and how do those two things relate to each other?
Stormguard is the people, and then the continent they're from is ISIL. We are the people of Sterngard, or we are Sternguards, and we're from ISIL, the continent. And then what we did, we based it because everyone was always going for more Viking and everything like that, and going more Nordic. So we wanted to be a little bit different. We based it more on like a Rus or like Kevian Rus or Drazina. So we went more like that with a Christian background. That's why we have the cross, because we went and followed, I think it was
the Orthodox. We followed that type of stuff, but we did a little bit of like a made up religion that's based off Orthodox Christian, but it's a little different. We have like an entire lore history and story and what our guys do within our Discord page.
And then, go ahead.
You can either read it or we can tell you a backdrop about it.
Is this
kind of sounds
is this located
like
in your Discord server?
Yes,
yes.
But you have to be an official member in order to read it.
Is there a public place to read this, or do you have to be?
I can change your rights, and I can change it, and I can give you, or I can just copy and paste and send it pictures to you.
Okay. Well, I was wondering if it's like written up in a Google Doc or something like that. If it was public, you don't have to make it public, but if it was public, we could put it in a Google Doc and have that in the description, and then people could check it out, see for themselves.
Let's see if I can change that. I can change that in Discord and make it public, so anybody
sure.
that joins as a diplomat, they can check it out.
Awesome.
And then
now you know.
The reason too we formed because we were at a time we were part of the Duchy of Alder. Jasper left. I tried to take over as a lieutenant, so I was like way down at the bottom of the totem pole. I was like in 5th, 6th rank. And then he left, and the Duchy of Alder was a big clan. I think we had like 80, 90 people at one time.
Okay.
And we were fighting. I think we were kind of like vassals for Byzantine and KT at the time. This is back in PE, back in like
PE
2023.
Far before me.
So that's what it was. And then they started falling apart. I tried to keep it together the best I could, but once you lose your main clan leader, stuff starts falling apart. And then without that, his actual friends started leaving, which were part of the command, and then we just started falling apart. He had a lot of like real life stuff that happened, so he had to go take time away. So that's why I started falling apart. So I tried to take command the best I did. Then
Duchy of what?
the Duchy of Alda.
I guess that's like another sort of fictional lore thing.
Is this in the
Or-
same kind of
It's in the it's another persistence. It's a persistent empire. So it was before PB.
Okay, gotcha.
So that happened, and then a lot of the guys fell apart, went to different clans and everything. And then I took off. Left Duchy Alda, and then I joined House Pike. And at that time, another persistent empire, they were a rival clan. So they were like, what typically happens in persistence, you have a clan that they start picking on you, holding you, that builds resentment. And then they were the only other clan that role played with us in that game, so we would role play back and forth, take prisoners, start weddings, and like do like red wedding stuff together, and then always just talk trash like in the community. It does all the time, or we would like stage like sabotages, send in like people that would stalk raid and stuff like that back and forth, or we would like capture like their leader, or and then just do stuff like that over and over. And that was House Pike, and we would have constant field battles with them. So it started off us hating each other, and then there was a time when Tintin, the leader of House Pike, came to us, and this is at the time when I started taking over and doing all the field battles against him. And then we started just having a conversation. We started role playing, and then we started becoming, I guess, more like rivals
after that.
than enemies.
Okay.
So we started doing stuff more together, and then they were able to convince us, because this is back in the Great Divide map, and we were at the center called the Iron Abbey. So it was like the main church where everyone did their weddings and everything like that. So we would gather, and we were pretty nice. So everyone was able just to come in, and we would like let you do your thing if you wanted to utilize the church, and we would protect people. So we would protect a lot of the serfs or just like neutral characters. Sometimes even let bandits in that we knew that were cool and not like trolls. So they would come in, buy stuff, and then leave.
Buy or sell, take refuge. Pretty much acting like a church with an armed force. People just. It was kind of like a bulwark because it was kind of divided. The map, Great Divide. It kind of divided. It was in the center of everything.
Okay.
Guarding the eastern side to the western side. And during that time, the western side was like chaotic as shit. And there's always people being halted, nowhere secure sanctuary. Us being the bulwark in the middle, we were kind of like holding back all the chaotic people. And it gave our allies ample amount of time just to gear up.
And it was a main staging point because at the time, I think we had a good like crafting core, and at the time, my wife was in charge of the because she also was also part of the clan.
Okay.
Her name is Kyra Jakor, and she was our head officer for like the siege equipment, so building sieges, ammo, armor, and then kitting out the crafters. So we did all that, and we utilized that. So we were like the main staging point where KT and Byzantine would come in, and they would real gear to go back to the battle to fight the other side of the map. But then I guess with our rapport with House Pike going on, and then I think Byzantine.
Oh, I believe my Discord is disconnected. I am attempting to reconnect imminently. Let me work some things out real fast. We will be right back with you. It's a pretty good conversation so far. I'll keep you company a little bit. It seems that my Wi-Fi is perfectly fine, but the Discord seems as if it is it seems as if it's having some issues. Apparently. I will continue to try new things until the situation is fixed. Okay, so let's see. Coming back to the main frame, here is okay. So Discord on my computer shut down. Don't know why, but I'm through Discord on my phone right now, and I believe the audio is sufficient. I have the mic sort of next to the speaker, but far enough away. I believe the guests can hear me. Is that correct?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. And then I believe my mic can pick up the guests. I hope they can. And I will keep trying to hold a consistent stance until my Discord on the computer comes back up. So what you were saying before was that you were going through a little bit of the history with you and your group with other clans in persistent empires and how that was kind of developing into good and bad relations with various clans, and that's where I shut down. So if you want to pick up from there.
Okay, so we were pretty much the Duchy of Outer was a vassal state to Byzantine and KT. So, well, what happened? There was some infighting in politics happened. We end up making somebody mad in KT by taxing the main clan leader. They didn't like that, so he reported that to Byzantine, and then we pretty much had like a quelling of the disobedient servants to them. So we ended up getting attacked, and then they ended up hiring House Pike, and I think it was the Targaryens at the time. So we had those clans attacking us. So we went into a full like 6-7 hour siege against that to defend ourselves. So we had my wife was part of the logistics crew, so she was adamant with that. So there were recycling of repairing the doors, building ammunition, and then rebuilding onagers or siege equipment when they got shot during that siege. And it was a really big part of Outer for us defending that because it was like, remember the Iron Abbey? For us, that was like our Alamo. So every time we think of Outer, we always think about the Iron Abbey, and we have such endearment towards that.
Sorry to interrupt, but were you the leader of this duchy at the time?
No, this time I was a lower officer, like I was just a lieutenant, because it was led by Jasper, and Jasper Everett was the leader. But during that time, he took off, and something happened in real life that he couldn't be there to assist in that defense.
Discord is back up.
So I ended up taking over that defense and leading it, and then we did the best we could. We had our archers there. We did all our training that we were doing that led up to that, all the practicing and then all the prep, so we were able to have that. So we had an archer leader in the front, which was Zaleck, and then he was just commanding everyone in the front. I'm in the back organizing the siege equipment, shooting the siege and counter sieging. I think it was Vic. Vic was Byzantine's main siege engineer, and the guy can aim. He was hitting everything perfectly. I could every once in a while get it, but he just had a better team and he was more experienced, and I was still pretty new at this time leading them. So we ended up losing. We ended up losing the Iron Abbey.
Is that Vic the member of VK now, or is it a different?
He might.
I think it might
I think
be
he
the
is.
same one.
It might be the same one. I think he switched. I think at the time he was part of Byzantine, and then he might have went over to VK.
Interesting. Okay, continue.
So that we end up losing. We lost our home, so we end up going and joining the side of the Getty side. So whole dynamic changed over because then we're a good like 80 members. So that was 80 members to the enemy side for Byzantine. So that helped us attack, and I think one of the times we end up actually winning against them when we had all that against that side, but I think it was only one time. But overall, we still lost constantly to Byzantine.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, now then we started getting
It's
more
all
consistent.
those numbers. I mean, they just overwhelm people, right?
Yeah, all you can do is just hold your ground and try to outlast them.
Byzantine, is that part of Gondor now?
Yes,
Is that
it's the
right?
same. Mm-hmm. Just rebranded now. So that happened. Then when Jasper started taking off, then the Outer started falling apart, and then it went to a little bit from like 80 down to like 20, 15. And then we got to I think there was a Game of Thrones map that came out, and then that was like the nail in the coffin because then no one was playing. It was just like 5 people, and then like you know what?
The hardcore players wanted to do some other stuff. They wanted to still play, but we didn't have enough numbers to do the big battles or medium-sized battles. And then we felt like it was going to shit, and this is when we decided to join House Pike before they rebranded because they lost their leader and became VMC.
And then after that came back, Tintin didn't come back, but he didn't come back to rejoin House Pike, but he came back in the community. He wanted to be part of, I think it was Getty's PB, and assist with that. I guess there was a disagreement of how, I guess Getty was running the community as a community leader or whatever. So there was like backlash with that, and then ultimately there was a disagreement. So I think Tintin got kicked out or wasn't allowed into the development group for that. So then he ended up making his own mod called Feudal Kingdoms. So this is when we start coming into the picture.
And just to provide some background knowledge, 1010 and House Pike, they have been around since Warband, and they were one of the big clans in Warband, I think.
I think they were playing in Warband. I think it was Persistent World or something like that back then, or Persistent Kingdoms. It was one of those. So they were there for a hot minute. They had a lot of good veteran players on that, and he had a lot of good backing with that. I did help him a little bit, part of the development team. I helped with coding items and everything and XMLs for that game. Zaleck was one of the little masters for that. So he provided some art,
stories, and stuff like that. And I collaborated with one of the Kingdom of the Frank fellows. I forget his name, but he was the main guy. He made the main lore for the kingdom, and I just
Was it
took the base of
Sawman
what he had.
perchance?
Say his name again.
Sawman? Someone who
Yeah, I
writes
think so.
lore?
Yes, yeah. I think that was him. But he had to leave after he gave me the base of the story, and I went from what he started, and then I expanded the hell out of it. Because for me, I've always struggled with starting with the beginning. But once that happened, after I got the core what I wanted from him, then I just ran with it, and then it just came from that.
And then during
And-
that time too, Tintin was like, "Hey, Holokron, why don't you get Elder back? You know, like, dude, Elder's not a thing. Jasper's not going to come back." He's like, "Well, then you take over. You know what? I'll do it. I'll ask the boys. I'll see if they want to get the band back together." And then rebranded it because I didn't want to, because it was Jasper's like baby. I didn't want to completely like retake it over because that was him. I wanted to start something new, but with the same people. And then we came together. We discussed what kind of culture we wanted to do. We discussed like what our color scheme was going to be. We kept the same color scheme to honor the Duchy of Elder because we liked the colors and everything like that. And then we like I said, we went through the 30, 35, 40 different names before we settled on that. And I think ultimately, we settled on Stormguard of ISIL was because of the acronym. The acronym sounded cool too. So you know what? We'll keep that.
It does, yeah. It is kind of badass. Like you got your soul on your side.
They got soul.
They got heart. They got soul. They got it all, and a bag of chips.
And
so
then
this just I want to know personally what happened to this mod that you were playing that Tenten developed.
it lasted what 2.5 weeks.
Whoa.
My wife was part of the head admin team during that, and the majority of the I guess the persistent community loved it. But what happened? Knowing with the persistent community, it's very toxic. Well,
If you don't have a strong administration team, everything else kind of falls.
there was a
apart.
lot of like
Wait.
cheating and breaking the rules. And during that time, we try to tell Tenton, don't launch it. Give it another week or so. Me and Kyra are going to go on vacation for 2 weeks. We'll be back. Do it after we do the full release when we come back so we can manage the team. So then I think we only had a couple trial admins and the team, and then
I
they
need
couldn't keep up with the
to
ticket
correct
logs.
you on something. It wasn't 2 weeks. It was a month and a week long before
was it?
they officially closed it off. You probably only had 2.5 weeks of play. I had at least a month and a week because I wasn't on vacation.
Okay, so that
But it
happened,
lasted a
and
hot minute.
Tintin retook over, him being the head admin. It was supposed to be my wife Kyra doing it, but she was like, "Well, not all the rules are implemented yet, and we still need to adjust because some of the rules need to be tweaked because it's breaking the rules and making it unfair for other people." And the exact same thing she said was going to happen happened, but then it was getting too much because Tintin was throwing everything into this mod.
What was that thing that happened that ended the mod?
If you can say it on stream.
Well, ultimately, it was just like he felt like the community was being ungrateful because he spent like a lot. He was treating like a road job for like what 3 months, 3.5 months straight.
Yeah, like I was on vacation for like a month, and he had so much time to dedicate it to FK.
And then he
It's
just got
hard to
enough.
go
People
into
were
it.
complaining, and then talking, and then the old stuff. What happens a lot in the persistent Bannerlord community, just the toxicity, name calling, and stuff like. He just had none enough. He felt like he gave his heart and soul to the community. They ate it up, and he just like, you know what, I'm throwing the towel. It's done. And then FK ended.
Interesting.
'Cause I
So
still to this day think it still has one of the best rule sets for all the persistent empires or any persistent mod because it's makes you be persistent. If you're not on, you're not gonna have a keep or a place. So it's a little bit more chaotic, but because it's more chaotic, there's more life in the mod. There's not these windows that you have now in PB where you're playing from like you're playing like like it's a job from certain times to certain times, and you're only limited to just scrimmages and not taking a castle and having it. The whole thing
I
about
think because
persistence
of
being
that
active.
too, I think a couple clans formed in there. I think House of Nadros ended up becoming the Rodox back then. I remember what was his name, Robert something of OM. He broke away from Atria and made his own clan, so he formed during FK as well. And a lot of different clans started appearing during that time. because of it, because it had that window where like your base wasn't always there. So if you weren't active in defending it, somebody would just swoop in and then take it, and you would have to defend it.
That's interesting. Another clan splintered off of Atria, so that's at least two.
Mm-hmm. Well, Atria's big, so I know there was a falling out not too long ago. Like now it's only like the main. I think Zach of Atria's duchy like left or barony because he had a lot. I think he had like 5 different baronies within Atria.
Not
I've heard
exactly
that it's
sure.
not.
I think
I've heard
at
it's
least
not
two
very big
clans
anymore.
left, and then I think he mentioned a third there. But I think the Atrian system works off of building baronies based on expansion. So I guess there's an infinite amount, really, in theory, depending on the players.
So
So that
ultimately, the Stormguard of ISO, it was a place for the ex Aldens to come back and play and still because all of them they loved the name, they loved the people they were hanging out with. So it was a place for the veterans to come back and play. And we were typically more nicer, I guess, to like the newcomers and everything, and noob friendly. And we would go out there and protect. And then we were one of the clans that love fighting against outlaws. So we're
Oh yeah.
constantly giving like we're like countering the outlaws, quelling the outlaws from being chaotic, and then it would like sometimes it would backfire, and then you get like a ducky like getting in there and rallying
Yeah,
the
they
rabble.
fucking like siege your castle or fucking like camping all your freaking serfs and not giving them a chance to farm or you know how toxic the outlaws can be.
Yep,
isn't that what you
bandits.
want? Isn't that what you would want though, so you could fight them?
Well, yes, but I
Hmm.
think we mentioned a few times ago or a few episodes ago about the banditry issue, and banditry serves as a great kind of way to not let everything progress too far. You don't want flying cars in the medieval era, so you need something to keep everyone down. But bandits, whenever you don't even have that progression towards community networks and advancement, then it becomes more of an issue than it should be, because there's no uh
Definitely. And then we were one
yeah.
of the go to VK like that, like different more suiting for their type, and just give them an introduction to the game. So
Yeah, if you
we
want the
still do that a
community
lot of
to
that.
grow, still even to this day, if we're not the right fit for you, there's always a right fit for somebody to play your playstyle. I always
Yeah, I
recommend people
mean,
to read the rules, not to get banned, but you have thick-headed people out there sometimes.
yeah.
Something
I know a lot
before
of
we
clans have come on here, and we have a section later on, and we'll probably move on to the next questions, of like their culture and like the way that their vibe is and how they view themselves in the community, in the NA community. And definitely I think I agree with you. There is always a place for everybody, and no matter how unique you are, there's someone with some similarities to you, so that's comforting.
before we move on to the next question, I just wanted to touch on something which you mentioned in your uh, speech or backstory, uh, which was that you guys are basically, from what I could hear, like pretty much a role play clan. Is that right?
For the most part, yeah, because FK was definitely a light RP server, so we like doing that, but we still love fighting. Every once in a while, like a couple of us, like our best players within Sterngard or Duchy of Outer, we would join like the MM community. We've been in a couple of tournaments and stuff. I think 2 Ducky chains and stuff like that.
Got
So
a
we've been
butt
in the
chase.
MM
I'm
community.
just-
We got yeah, but it's a great place to learn to get better. And then recently too, we started starting scrum battles. I think our most recent one we did a I think it was a 10-on-10 against VMC, and we won. That was
kinda won
really
in
good
our
fun.
favor.
And then now I'm trying to get some stuff to. I've been trying to get with Bloodhold and Cookie and his clan to see if we can do another 10v10 against another
Oh,
clan. I've been trying to reach out to, I guess, Kingdom of the Franks, Gage, but he's leaving me on unread. I offered him that too to do like a 10v10 so we can get on there. Back in Persistent Empire, there used to be a big thing with clans would fight each clans and stuff like that just for bragging rights, and then they would carry it on to PB as well. See what to gauge what clan is good or at least like has a good core.
Gauge.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would love to have a kind of like leaderboard or something like that. That'd be a good idea for the Amelstead server, the Order Whispers or something like that. having like
Yep.
a tournament system of like skirms maybe, or maybe a leaderboard of who has held like the center of the PB map for the longest time or something, like statistics and stuff like that. That would be wonderful. So
There is something kind of like that. It's the MM community. I think it's led by Crusader 5. It's really good, but it's for like the sweaty of the sweaties.
We also
but it's more individual stuff though.
we also have such a thing in VK. We have like a bot where you can track the stat. It's almost the same as the MM community, but it's a lot less toxic. Although it's not.
Yes, I would just say it's like the scum and villainy that go in there, but you literally have to be trained in order to fight the motherfuckers. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're recording stuff in there and you're trying to post it on YouTube, it's not very YouTube friendly. Just saying that.
Well,
Oh, I know.
everyone in Bannerlord is familiar, I believe. For better or for worse.
But definitely, that's what we're trying to get. I mean, then we have our own our skirmish server that we have that we usually. I think we usually invite House of Nadros and Norway would come in there, and we would just like
the Misfits, and we get in there, do training.
I think even Nefarious too. They come in there, so we just mess around and do scrum battles. And it's more for training because it's relaxing and chilling and just learning tactics and learning how to team fight together.
Okay.
It's a different type of team fighting than I guess the Taco Central group fighting, because that's just more like you're just like a swinging melee and you're just target switching. And skirmishing is a little bit funner because you have to do with more tactics, more like the territory, how to counter certain special units like archers and cav, which gives a great base for that. And then with that teaches like my clan how to play together well, and it carries over to our persistent game.
Well, yes, I guess any training is good. Warming up like across servers is very useful. As many people who play Taco Central will know, you're usually in Taco Central talking about how you're gonna dominate the next battle or castle in PB or something
That's
like that.
true.
Or if you're doing like line battles, you practice your formations of the line battles and stuff like that. So, it's very useful. And a good cornerstone of the warm up section of the Bannerlord gameplay. But so I think that's all that I have to say for this section. Warband, do you have anything before you get to your section?
Well, I think that was a pretty good introduction of everything you could possibly know about, or maybe not, but definitely a good base knowledge for the clan.
Yes, all the crucial backstory, right?
So yeah, I'll move on to my section. So let's start with the basic, most obvious question: what kind of events does SOEL participate in?
Okay, so the ones that we participate on weekly, usually it's the Karate campaign. That's like I believe once or twice a month. When I got to check the date whenever I have it on the event calendar when we attend on those. We also do the one that's really popular right now. Is doing a great job. Cookie Blood Hode's event. You guys were there too. We're
Yes.
having a blast.
Love it.
They're doing phenomenal, and I think he's doing a really good job of like bringing that BRE mod to the NA community, and it seems like it's working. He's doing a great job. We love that, and
Yes.
it's especially with the custom armors and everything. It just makes it feel like you're even more part of the community, and it brings out your clan or your culture, which is great. And then we look completely different from everyone else because we're using the Kavian Roost and like a lot of like the Iron Mask and everything, Sterngott, so we look completely different. We don't look like a Vikings, and we don't look like medieval knights. So it's great.
Yeah, or I should say that it's mainly the Sturgian. The Sturgian armor set.
And then also we're trying to participate. We definitely our main focus is persistent Bannerlord though, so that's a one that we definitely be part of the community a lot, and that's what our main focus is. And we do everything else just to supplement and give more time to do stuff. And Persistent Bannerlord, it has its ups and lows. Right now we're in a low period, so to keep our clan members from going like getting bored or venturing onto other games, and is to be part of the community. And doing that definitely keeps you in. And like you said, the Order of Whispers is another good source to use because he's busy keeping track of all the events that's going. So it's definitely been helping me and guiding me, and to see what people are doing, what's like the main, the hottest, latest event to go to participate and to join, and then it keeps my players active. And I feel like it's working too because I'm like, look, I got to meet you guys, and you guys heard about us, and you're getting us this awesome interview. So I think it's working. It's helping us get our name out there and play a lot more, and keeping my members active.
Yes, I would say I constantly harp on about the benefits of PB and the potential that it has for the community. I mean, very recently, I heard some I guess you would call it whinging about the status currently that there's not a lot of people on, but we understand it because of the particular significance of this week. With regard to something in the popular discussion, a lot of people say, particularly the big clan leaders, like I know Cookie has said it, I know Atria has said it, I think FMGK of Taw has said it, that clans should not focus on PB as their like primary or like main thing. Now, I think perhaps the larger clans have more access to other things. You can't just walk into a lot of these big events. But do you see any legitimacy in that argument? Particularly for like small community clans like y'all's? Like, do you think that there's any different avenues that would benefit you more putting your focus into rather than PB? Do you agree with those other leaders when they say
No,
that?
no, I do. Especially when I grow in the community, you have to branch out and go more than just persistent Bannerlord. Persistent Bannerlord, when it is popping and stuff's going on, is very fun and addicting, and it always keeps you coming back for more. But if you want to grow your community, because there's a lot of people out there, a lot of people don't know about persistent Bannerlord and that as a mod, so you're shutting yourself out of potential newcomers to the system, to the game, to your clan, and just getting out there. And yeah, I agree with that. I Getting out there and being part of the community will definitely help you and last longer. As you said, some of these clans have been on for years. Like you even said, for House Pike has been around since like Warband days. So you definitely got to do, and you got to branch out and be part of the community to grow, and then to get to know other people. And yeah, once you get to network a little bit, you start learning where other stuff's at, and you get to be part and participate in those events.
Do you
But the
think we'll
question,
start seeing Soul in a lot more of these events? I mean, I assume y'all try to go to every event you can. Um, do you think Soul
If we
might be
got the numbers, we'll show up, Tom. But also too, if you
nice?
don't have enough numbers, you're not going to be shining in the field. You'll be seeing only maybe like a handful. But when our numbers get up there, like it was recently, we'll have like 11, 12 people out, and you can actually see where we're at. It's a lot easier to spot people when they have the numbers out. There's so much more
And then waving your
unification in
flag and
numbers.
your tags too. Yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
mean, even I will not hide the fact that even I have like a little bit of a bias. Like the first clan that I joined was a fairly big clan, and sometimes when I'm like analyzing and I'm looking at the field before the engagement of the battles, I don't even count around like 8 to 12 dudes as a one unit. I usually count them as half a unit whenever we talk about these big battles with the big clans. So there's kind of a bias there from my side, and I think that 10 people is a respectable amount. I think I'm growing more toward the respect of that because, especially as like a small unit commander, I know that you can do a lot with a little, and doing a lot in these big public areas and doing it well is what gets attention on you. It's what gets recognition and experience. So that's what matters. So I think it's a great thing that y'all are down to just join whatever is open to you. Warband, any notes on
all
that?
right, well, let's move on to the next question. So, does the group have any other games that they play?
A
Oh
Or is
lot.
it
yes, definitely. Well, we do definitely stay, I guess, more in the medieval. A lot of us do play like Crusader Kings, like 3. We play Rome
Chill,
Invictus,
chivalry too.
Chivalry 2. and then
Mordhau, stuff like that.
Mordhau, like a lot of that. And then recently, because Lost Oasis came back, and it was part of the Donkey Crew. They're the ones that made the first CRPG back in Warband, and they made that game. And what they did is they used the same similar type of melee direction. So if you're really good at Mountain Blade Warband or Bannerlord, your skills in this game will carry over in there, and it would also keep you sharp because it's pretty much the same combat system when it comes to melee blocking and everything like that. So that's a lot of thing that we're when stuff starts dying down that we do branch off, and it's great because it still keeps us our skills top notch, and so like when we come back, it's not like you've either got better or like it didn't really deteriorate over your skill, because that helps a lot. I know what was it back in November when PB started dying off. Then we took a big break.
Yeah, a
We
little
went-
bit of break. We went to GTA 5, went to a roleplay server and did that. Brought at least half of our members over there to
Did you?
continue
Oh,
some
you took
roleplay
like
footage.
how many people was it?
Like
I
5
think
or 7?
yeah 5 or 7
Right,
7
but
about
I know
7.
in
you
that game,
you
like you
guys
could have a lot of fun with just 4 people. So I can imagine like a 10-man group in
Was
GTA.
we ended up joining
Tell 'em what
like a
happened, tell 'em what
mafia
happened.
clan. It was good. It was a nice good break, and then we heard, oh, Getty's bringing back PB, and then we started like waning off it, and then coming back to
Yeah, we kind of had to
Bannerlord.
break the rest off of not playing fucking like Bannerlord and like for like weeks. It took us like a week to get our skills back up because you're like, we gotta break all this rust. Peace is like, I suck right now. Why are you guys freaking killing me? And then he broke off the rust real quick, and he's over here kicking everyone's ass in Soul. We're
And
doing
then
our little
that's when we
freaking
found out
duel.
about the Cookies event, and then he just, like you said, people don't always respond to their DMs. I got a DM from like Cookie, like that name sounds familiar. I've seen it before. And then he's like, oh, I got this mod coming out, and I'm reaching out to all the clan leaders. Would you like to join? And you know what? This is a perfect time. We're just coming back out 5M, and we need to get the rust off. So joining that and then gauging see what clans were still active, and it was cool. It was a great way to get back into the flow of Bannerlord and just PB and get into the community again.
all right. That sounds like everybody loves this event, so I have to go to it someday. But
You should. I mean, I think VK goes to it, doesn't they? Don't they?
No, VK goes in there.
They
We
do.
pull big
Les is
numbers
like in
there.
that
Oh,
area
good.
every week.
Or maybe do you work
yeah,
during those times usually, or something like that?
no, it's just that I've been busy with other stuff, and but I don't even know when the event is, to be honest. I have to find that out first.
I think it's
Usually
every
at 7 o'clock.
Thursday.
CS. Yeah, Thursday or Friday. It's been moving
It
closer to
depends.
Friday.
It's usually Friday. Sometimes it switches to 7. I think Cookie makes some time slot switches because OM has a similar event that's like that at the end of the month. So he doesn't want to clash with other events in the community. So he backs it to Thursday when he needs to, so the other event can happen.
Very nice of Cookie.
All right.
He's a great
Well,
guy.
I just thought of a question to kick off the next section of the interview, which is about the community, and that's Lamai's session. But I just wanted to ask, if just as a short question, because I don't see it anywhere. What is the size of your group, approximately? You know,
Of active players, we can get up to 15. We have some members that take breaks or that they realize stuff. We have a couple ones that went back to school and they're doing their finals.
Yeah.
Sometimes we peak up again in summer when people are out of school and everything like that, or on vacation and have more
We have
time to do
15
stuff.
solid that play every day, but they come in at different times. So we're consistently anywhere between 8 and 10.
respectable. All right, you can start your section now.
Okay, so this is about soul in the in a community, and I want y'all to close your eyes in the audience. I want y'all to close your eyes and listen to the words that I say. Soul in the NA community. That's what we need. We need community, we need heart, and we need soul.
I
Especially
100% agree with you.
yes, especially for
I
those
agree
those new
100%.
players looking for somewhere to go. If you look around and nowhere else works for you, get some heart and soul. Now, what is the culture of Soul like? As far as the top-down interactions, and among the peers. You can include VCs, Discord chats, whatever, wherever y'all like commonly interact, like in and out of the server. How would you describe the culture of your community?
Well, for our culture is pretty much laid back, chill. Sometimes before we started getting really heavily back into PB, we were considered as a gaming community. So we do other stuff like we spoke other, just to hang out and like a group of friends, and then just hear people's like real life stories, some stuff. Sometimes people have like trouble
Real
they're
life
going in
stuff.
life.
They need like help,
They need to
mentorship,
vent.
and stuff like that, or someone to like, you need a
Yeah,
bro.
because
We're here for you.
yeah, and then me and Zaleck we're older. We're 37. So we're older. So a lot of the people in my clan are like younger in their mid 20s. Some are starting getting up there to their early 30s, but majority of the clan is in the mid 20s. So a lot of them look up to us for advice or stuff. Or and then I'm also a veteran too. So I
Thank
served
you for your
during
service.
in Iraqi freedom and then enduring freedom in Afghanistan. So I did some time in there. So I like to use a lot of what I've learned to in some of the tactics that we do. And then when I do commanding, I like to give other people chances to lead to see what potential they have or if they have any ideas. And I try to do it more like a
Like
roundhouse
a
type thing.
roundhouse type of thing. But
And then
we roundhouse his ass into the kingship. We meet him like
yeah,
you're fucking our
I
leader.
initially I didn't want to be the leader, but then everyone's like, "No, Holocron, you need to be the leader." And then they all like, "Okay, I'll take the mantle." And then they gave me the title, the King Holocron. I was like, I didn't
George
even want that either
Washington
at the time.
style. They force you to be
Yeah,
the king.
yep,
Well, the leader, I guess.
yeah. And then most of the time, if there's an issue with the player, whatever, like if they're being disrespectful or I give them a chance. But like we have a vote and we have like a concession, and then we'll have like if there's a topic or there's a new game that people want to go try, we vote on it and then go do it.
So you would say
That's
this
an
is
interesting.
like a
I haven't heard
heavily
of that voting.
democratic
That's
system.
cool.
You vote for a lot
Yeah.
of stuff. Do you have like a special channel for voting? Do you have more than one channel for voting?
Yeah.
All voting
Oh,
happens in a particular channel that we don't let any outsiders get into.
And it's secured. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. It seems like a lot of the demographic is older than I initially expected coming into this. I mean, I came in I want to say late teens, maybe early 20s. I'm still in my kind of mid early 20s, whatever. But I expected the player base to be a lot younger on average than it is, but I mean, I've seen 30, 40-year olds, a lot of 20-year
Some men
olds.
don't grow up. Some men
Well,
don't grow up.
I mean, when you grow up, you can't play Minecraft your whole life, right? So you have
that's
to play
true.
something
Well,
with a little bit more mind power, with a little bit more pizzazz to it, with a little bit more power and force.
some people may argue that point.
No, but it's funny because me and Zalek, we played back in the beginning of Warbandman, so like back in like what 2010, 2011, or was it 2000? Whenever it first came out.
Yeah, whenever Warband came out.
Yeah, so we played then. I think I was 19, and then the demographic in that, dude, everyone was in the mid 30s, and we were the youngings, we were like the 19-year-old, like 20-year-olds. Like it was like there was no 20-year-olds; it was all old people. Now the tide has turned. Now I'm the old person, but there's more 20-year-olds.
So you're telling me that there may be some people playing Bannerlord who are potentially in their
Yes.
60s.
We actually met some. I'm not going to say their name, but
we need to have him on the podcast. We need to have him.
He's like 48, 49. He might be 50 now because he was part of the clan. But there was like a falling out because he was doing some stuff that it was affecting another player in my clan, so we had to give him the boot.
Okay, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, but no, you'd be
Excellent.
surprised. There are actually a decent amount of like older gamers in the community.
Okay, well, yeah, it's a very interesting point. So these next questions, the next two are essentially the same for you, and I'm going to preface it. Right now, Soul, you are one of the clans in the Triarchy, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Um, in my opinion,
Can
or sorry, can you?
well, yes, in the triarchy, but 2 days ago the triarchy fell apart. Just
Okay,
so you know.
just so okay, so that's a good piece of info. But yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, that is peak diplomacy. The question that I usually
Well,
ask
not anymore.
The question that I usually ask is, how does your clan interact with other clans? And we've gotten like some pretty basic answers, like um, stuff like being in each other's Discord servers, playing other games together, combining clans to play certain games. And y'all have actually done that to a pretty successful degree, pretty high degree. Your name is talked about in plenty of spheres, and your shield is seen in quite a few places. So, tell me about how that diplomatic relationship came about, and tell me other ways in which you think um, communities of NA clans could interact. That would be useful. So the first part of the question
Um.
is basically how did y'all's diplomatic prowess turn into you working together on such a large scale with other teams?
Well, I guess just being a likable guy. First
A
off, it's
likable guy, talking to people, getting yourself out there, people recognizing you and from your actions.
yeah, and
Like
just
you treat
don't.
someone well, they'll fucking remember you, and if you get their back or when no one else can, they'll help. Like and they'll
Just
recognize
treat them
you.
with respect or whatever. Just don't act like the rest of the community, and that's good.
Don't act like the
Yeah,
rest of
because
the
like,
community.
because and then VMC, like we have like a real good bond with VMC just because they were a hated enemy, became our rival, and then we became them, and then we broke off and did our own thing, and became Stern Guard. So with them, we definitely we play a lot of games. We play like I think just recently, like a month ago, well, a month ago, we played Warhammer 40K Dawn of War Apocalypse mod. I was playing with Abaddon and Spartacus.
Okay.
Oh
We're
yeah.
playing that, and we're just messing around and do that. And that's while a lot of like the skirmishes we're able to get that quickly, and a lot of it's just trash talk because we're always just trash talk.
No.
When we're in there, we usually drink and have fun in there, and then we also invite them to ours, and we're just trash
Do
talk,
the same
have
thing.
fun,
Yeah,
and
I
then
would say
that's
their
the same.
biggest rivals is the VMC guys.
It's
Everyone
like
like
it's a friendly.
I
It's
thought
a
it was
friendly.
funny how so many people fear them as mercs. Like when they see them on the battle, like, oh shit, it's the VMCs. You gotta fucking like watch yourself. You're gonna get your ass freaking like cooked or something.
I've
For
heard.
us as Stern Guard, we don't fear them. We love to fight
Because
them. We
yeah, dude,
love to
it's like
fight
yeah,
them.
dude, like yes, go over there. There's our old battle buddy, our old enemy. Let's go. It's like when you have like the Warhammer 40K Space Marine and they love to fight orcs. It's like that,
So should we
or the
expect
orcs like.
soon, with all the content that's coming out, should we expect a compilation of VMC versus Soul face off?
Oh, we actually
At some point, yeah,
at some
yeah.
point definitely we used to do a lot of those back in the Persistent Empire when we wore Elda, and back even when the like in PB like some stuff when it gets lulled, and
Yeah, if
then
we're
like I have
having like,
Spartacus in my.
oh sorry, go ahead.
Well, like even recently, like I think it was last night. I think yeah, last night.
Yeah, it was nice.
Nothing was on. The pop was down to like 15, and then we're like, "Hey, dude, Spartacus, you bored? Let's fight." And then he got on. He got his 10 people on, and then I got my 10 people on, and they were like just fighting. And then people were like, "Come on, let me in your base." Well, if somebody else joins their side, then you could be on it because we want to have an even footing, so it's fun because no one wants to be outnumbered. You want to still have that fairness.
Okay.
And
So
then okay, and then also just having that rapport because I've also it helped me with Hasanadros and the Rodox. It's helped
Yeah.
me to do politics with Byzantine, being friends or having a good rapport with like gems of Byzantine. Be able to talk to them, being able to talk to Getty whenever he's not busy, whatever. Every once in a while, I'll see like I've never been like on his side or like in his clan, but I don't know if you've seen Ian or heard of Ian.
Not too particularly.
With him, I'm always like a good rapport with him, and then I usually like I talk to like Chang. He's a good person. He's in I think was it Nefarious now? I think
In Nefarious now?
Yeah, I think he was part of
Yeah.
Atria. Then
Yeah.
now he's in Nefarious. Yeah, so I know since I've been playing for a while, I do know a lot of people in the community and who to talk to, how to reach. And the most of the time, I'm not. And when I do fight you, whatever, it's usually not like because we hate
Like
you or anything
personal
like
or
that.
anything like that. It's to have fun, man.
Of course.
Or
yeah.
to whatever we stage. Sometimes we stage roleplay reasons to fight each other. Or because we do like RP, we like having reasons. It's fun to give like a little backstory to a fight, or give a reason why they're fighting or something. Because mindless fighting gets boring after a certain time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, of course. And
I just wanted
it's
to
good to have
say-
like a story and lore to it, maybe sometimes, or like a reason behind it.
Somebody needs to make like a chart that has all of the splinter clans of Atria, so to clear up all this
Like a
confusion.
tree,
that
like
I
a
have.
genealogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more of
Definitely.
a respectful way of putting it.
You know
Atria
who
does
might be able
deserve
to
a
do
little bit of
that?
respect.
What's his name? Rex. What's his name? Raul Bolian. What did he change his name to?
Rowlin, like Gate Guard Rowlin. He's
Yeah,
from he's in Gondor right now.
Yeah, but I think he was a YouTuber too. But he might be able to do something like that and do some kind of like tree if you reach out to him.
Yeah, that'd be
He
fantastic.
might be able to hook you up with that.
He also
by
was
the
a
way,
former
if you send
Stern
me
Guard
his
in Alden.
then I can reach out to him, or my ad is in the description if he wants to reach out if he's listening.
what is the VMC clan? What does that stand for?
Vanguard Mercenary
Company.
Vanguard Mercenaries.
Oh, I've heard of them, but how are they related to you guys exactly?
Oh,
We
because
used
they used to
to be
be a house
part of
pike,
them.
and we used to
Right,
be
yeah.
in their clan.
For both
Oh.
Pike and VMC.
So does VMC come from House Pike?
Yes,
Yes, that's like all the members except for Tintin.
Tintin. That's only missing that person, but
And,
everyone in there is the same.
Same thing with Stern Guard. It's pretty much majority Aldens.
So
Just missing Jasper.
House Pike gets a family tree too eventually. So you mentioned, you answered my question, by the way, thank you. You would say that your ability to kind of just chill and have a good rapport and a casual exposure to these other like clans and leaders and stuff like that makes it easy for you to just arrange, more interactions on other servers with each other, and that's how you get this good building of relationship with other clans. Is that a good summarization of what you said, or would you put it another way?
Exactly. No, you summarized it pretty good.
Yes. Okay. Good. So Caleb Cox in the comments says, well, firstly, he said three things. I saw the text, but I couldn't read them before he deleted them, so that's interesting. And then after all that, he says, we dogged VMC last night, though. It was 16-10 them. I don't know what clan Caleb Cox is in. Is he?
He's one of my guys.
Okay. Well, welcome. Yeah, good. Maybe take a screenshot. Tell us where the screenshot is. Jack also.
Yeah, Caleb, where's the screenshot?
Jack also said the Bloodhold event tonight was great, and I think the Bloodhold event tonight was fantastic. We mentioned that kind of
Even with the timing messing up, it was still fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good opportunity to warm up and look at the map and stuff like that.
Was VK a part of the event?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh man, I missed my own clan's event.
Don't you get the announcements? Do they do it at everyone?
I was actually working at the time, so.
Oh, okay.
That
well, yeah,
also
that's
could
completely
be
fair.
as simple as you forgot that you muted the server. That's a simple fix to unmute it.
He can't admit on air that he had muted the VK server. That's against
do
the
that.
law.
Les is gonna be all over him, dude.
I never muted the VK server, but I guess I'm not as involved as most players are with their. I mean, I'm not inactive, but I'm not extremely active.
No, some of that's part of leadership too. People who are in leadership are very active. They need to be. It takes a certain part of like leadership to be a leader, like that, doing active stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've led CS:GO clans in the past, and it's hard enough. And CS:GO is like a very like cut and paste game. And it's very like repeat, repeat, repeat.
Mhm.
Bannerlord, there's a lot of complexity in like organizing the servers, interacting with the other servers. Putting your players in the server, and then actually fighting against other clans is a whole other thing that you have to prepare for.
And not to mention the politics. You still got to deal with the politics
And
as
you still
well.
got to deal with well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Some clan leaders just don't interact at all, which is somewhat for better, somewhat for worse. But I think it's important to have political political interactions because politics is who, what, when, where, and why, and it doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be bad. Okay, so, do I have another question in this section? It looks like I do. You mentioned that Seoul's biggest rival was, of course, VMC. And you went through all that history, so I won't make you repeat it. I will ask, if you brought it up before, I'm sorry, but I missed it. Who is Seoul's biggest ally?
Right now, I would have to say Nadros.
Yep, past Nadros. So
Nadros.
Patty Nadros.
Is
So
this
that would
a
be our biggest ally, and he was also part of the Charky as well. And I guess we're still going to be doing some kind of mini of alliance, but we're going to be trying to go the route of like a Jaw Tall.
j- jaw?
Yeah, so we're going to go like
Gotcha.
that.
Jado?
Yes, gotcha. Jado. I keep forgetting all the
And
names keep changing.
Yeah. Well, their banner changes on a daily because they want representation from all three clans that are in there.
Well, they should hire an
I
artist.
correct me if I'm not wrong. Is it
NATO
legal?
left. NATO left.
Okay, two
NATO
clans in
left.
there now.
Okay.
So NATO so Charky left too. So because Norway was part of it because it was Norway or the Yardem of Norway, House Nadros, and then Sterngard of Isel. That was the Charky, but Norway wanted to do their own thing and break away. So now it's only two now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to have Norway on the show. That would be cool. It just sounds cool.
No, they're cool. They're cool individuals. I have no beef against them in reality, but in lore, there's beef in lore.
In
Role
lore.
play.
And
Yeah.
to give us
Anthony's a cool
reasons.
guy. He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy.
If you talk to him, he'll probably be up to do whatever you guys want to do, like an interview too.
Awesome.
I think he used to be part of EK. They used to be part of you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
How well is the Forsaken with the VK? Are they a sub faction?
I don't know. I was trying to get the answer. They always come to all of the. I guess they are because they come to the matchmaking, the VK matchmaking. So
They're always representing VK in some form or fashion, but I noticed a little bit of them broke off to do the Forsaken thing and kind of do whatever they want to do.
nobody gave me really an exact answer on that, and I think the answer is that I think the real answer is that they kind of want to be part of VK, but they don't want to maybe like the Dread Swords. They don't want to follow really the rules, so they're kind of a little bit part of it, but not really.
Yeah, and I think that was too a lot of their reason to leave too. They wanted to be less planny and do more. They wanted to have more freedom, and that's why they left VK. I guess we were being a little bit too strict. And Anthony wanted more freedom. He wanted to be able to outlaw more.
Well, the Triarchy helped us quite a bit. Allowed a lot of our members that are like getting on at different times do so much things, and then use our areas of expertise and bring them to the group, which was fantastic. I was surprised that the Triarchy broke apart. In all honesty,
Tell us more about that.
Are you
Like, what
allowed
was-
to tell us more about that? Is there anything
That's
that would
a
be
Holokron
unsafe
thing.
There was no
for-
bad blood. No bad blood at all.
No bad blood. Okay, and it's
We
all
can talk about it.
it's all legal. Okay, cool. Yes, please tell us the story.
Okay, so it happened when we started getting the news about PB coming back and Gady's going to release it. So back in FK, I'm bringing that up again. We wanted to get and become allies. We tried doing that, and when FK was going to come out, back then Patty was in a second command, and he was under what was it, CITES, and he was the leader of the Rodox. And then we were trying to do this type of Sharky thing, but it was the Rhodoks and Sterngard of ISIL, and we were trying to be on the same side. At that time, I think we had 25 members, or closer to 30, but I think about 25 active during that, just because it was more of a light RP type server.
Okay.
So a lot of Dachi Valda wore light RP, so that's why we had that going, and we wanted to be on the same side, but when things happen, when a new map comes out, it's first come first serve to the castle, and then with the rules that you don't get to get dibs on it, whatever, you have to maintain it and hold it because you don't have that secure, like you can only siege it in these times, so you have to be on guard the whole time. Well, we were in talks with them, and we wanted to do that kind of alliance to fight and to be able to have good numbers to fight against the bigger clans, such as like Getty's clan, or well, I think Getty wasn't allowed in there because of the beef between Tintin and Getty, but Byzantine was.
What is Getty's clan? What's the name of that?
LGIX,
Lost
Legion,
Legion?
Legion, Lost Legion.
But I think what is it now? Sklad or something like that? SK.
Skoliak, SKGA, SK.
They did it rebranding. I think something happened to lead to the rebranding, but that's what they are now. So that happened. We were trying to get that alliance going, but we ended up being on the wrong side. So we had to be allies with Byzantine because they were our neighbors.
SKLG, I believe is the name.
Okay, that's proper name.
So that happened, and so we never really got to play with each other. But then we ended up getting attacked by, I think it was Jaw and Tall. I think they did attack us. I think Common Knight used to be part of my clan, but then he joined them, and he ended up being like a spy and opened the gate to let him in to attack us and stuff like that. So there was fighting with that. So we're like, hey, shit.
Fucking plate, weaponry, horses, and everything.
And then we got help. So we asked, hey, Patty, dude, yeah, if you want to do this alliance, let's do it. But they're on the other side of the damn map and kind of far. But he came over, gave us support, and like, all right, we're gone that. And then we started forming up with them and trying to do what we did with the Charky. I think it was Gems or Clarky at the time. I can't remember who was leading Byzantine. But they didn't like that, and they saw a threat because, oh, okay, now you're taking the next biggest active clan in here. We can't have that. So they ended up starting to attack us. Hey, Holokron, Sterngard needs to stay on this side. If you're going to go over there, you're going to be our enemy. So we're like, okay, we're not as big, and we're only active doing certain parts because a lot of us had jobs. So we can't be on 24/7. So like, okay, we'll bend the knee so my clan isn't annihilated. So we stayed in there. And then there was an opportunity where we ran into the same issue we're running now, where Byzantine is like, if you're on their side, you're going to win. So Tintin came in. You know what? We're going to do force alliances. This side, you're on this side to even out the numbers, so it's even with the field battle. So go with the Rhodoks, and then we end up having a battle, and we're flipping. We pretty much won, but there was like complication. I think Byzantine said like, hey, we need, because he was originally going to put us in different castles that no one owned. They didn't have that, but I think somebody in Byzantine is like, no, can we have our castle, and then you guys can have the castle next door that no one owned, so it had no gear in it. So it was whatever we brought, and then Byzantine got to keep their own castle. So when we did the field battle, we were winning, but we ended up losing to attrition because they had a fully kitted castle, because it was an actual castle, and we had some random pub faction that had nothing in it. So we ended up losing all the gear, and we ended up just losing. But the battle was fun. A lot of cool content happened, and we got to see the aspects of the future of seeing how great our alliance was going to be. And then I think that's why Byzantine didn't want Sterngard to go on that side, because it was just going to feel more fuel to the frame for the enemy, would make the Rhodoks even more dangerous than they were becoming.
Okay.
So, but the question was, what was the cause that broke the triarchy? And it sounds like what you may have been indicating was
he was trying to like the induction to getting into the triarchy.
Okay, yeah, so this is the background, this is the foundation.
Yeah, so that's the foundation. But because of that, then we end up going into it and like, okay, so remember when we come to PB and like, hey, remember when we tried doing that thing in FK? Let's do it this time. But I think it was Cortain at the time, which became Yardom of Norway, what we're going to do with Antidote. So like, okay, you want me in there? Then we definitely got to have equal footing. Okay, so we all got to have our own opinions, and we're going to have 3 kings. And then we went into the clan, and then we suggested, you know what, let's have a name. Let's go ahead and let the people choose. and I got the people to go. We had everyone that was leadership go through the list of names, and then we ended up landing
It
on.
didn't take too long. It wasn't like how Sterngard took forever. This
Got,
one, like 5 names, and it boom, bam, name was
Okay.
chosen. Voted on it.
chosen, and then we hit off, and then I was had a really good rapport with Patty Nadros, and then I'm always playing against him in TDM. Always seeing him on FK, and then even PB back in the day. So we always got to play with them, and then even when we were in VMC, we would always fight against them, and they were like, "Hey, dude, you're getting messed up, dude. You sure you don't want to hire VMC? You can hire us, dude, and we'll protect you because you're getting attacked by the
There's
outlaws."
this one time when we freaking me and Holocron paid VMC to go help Nadros. There's one time because we were so freaking
was it
bored and
pricey?
wanted to fight. For me, it
Decent.
wasn't. We were making a lot bank. Or
Oh yeah, at VMC we make bank, dude. And then half the reason too is because when we're broke or we're just bored and no one's hiring VMC, we were the outlaws, so we were causing a little bit of the chaos as well. And then the cool thing that I guess the bandits hated us because we weren't true bandits. So when it was time for us to go, they would get pissed because like now we got to fight you. You were on our side, now you're our enemy because they bought you for a contract. So we'd be like a contract for a day, assisting House of Nadros. So we did that a lot. That's the reason why I got to know Patty a lot and got to talk to him. And I think at that time, he was a new clan. He was coming up, so he wasn't as big as he is now.
Yeah, because now they got some freaking skilled members now.
And then because of
They're
that was what led into the Sharky, and then I got to meet Antidote. We got to talk, and it was weird because like Antidote and Cortain, they were part of VK, and like, dude, it's weird playing with the VK people. Like we were always fighting you. I'm like, now we're on the same side, so it was cool. I got to see different aspects and different culture within Cortain. So it was cool. We got to do a lot of learning new tactics. We end up holding a couple tournaments within the Triarchy. We had tournaments with the competitions to see who was the best. We had tournaments to see who our better warrior was to be the house guard for the Triarchy who represented it. And then we started structuring the clan. So we had our leadership at the top with which was Lords, me, Patty, and Antidote. And then we had our leaders, which were counts, and then we had barons, and then it go from that down there a bunch of different classes, and then we started breaking
structured.
and we started breaking into different commands, and then we had titles. There were more titles than like an actual rank. It would be like, okay, you're in charge of organizing the archer squad. Okay, you're in charge of the cav, and then you're in charge of the I think we had marshals. We had 2 of them, and they would take turns of this to over our scope of the army and the plan. And then we had such strategists in the background, which gave us an overall mindset of different tactics we could try to assault or attack. So it was really cool. We learned a lot from the other clans. They learned a lot from us, and us just being veterans, we were able to help a lot of the new people that were coming in, or just get people back in and teach them new stuff, or just to be better. So we had a good. We weren't that many, but we were definitely had 10. We had 10 on every day, and it would be a nice good base for them. So it gave a good footing to that clan. So they always had a good core base to depend on.
Yeah, I mean it's a good way to keep everybody happy. Is having stuff to do, but not requiring too much of a commitment. And then what would you say is like, so of all of the backstory and all of the kind of setup that we know now, what would you say was like the final linchpin in the breakup of these clans? And then I have one question, like a bigger question afterward, but I'll let you answer that one first so I don't bombard you.
Okay. So ultimately, I think just the breaking up. People want it to be more independent. I guess we're getting too structured, and then acting like it was too of just one clan, and then some people might have felt like we're losing a little bit of identity of their own individuality of clan. So that probably led to that as well, and that's probably what I think left to, I guess, falling apart of the Triarchy.
Okay,
And then what was the next question?
That's actually perfect because my next question was almost exactly related to that. It was talking about the sort of the ways that some other clans are structured, with like particularly like retinue or sub nobility systems, where you have, clans come in, like you merge clans, but they merge into one. Like let's like say Atria, you have the central body of Atria. You add other clans to it, and they come in as like nobility, as like sub clans, under a single thing. But then you have clans that merge together, like you were describing, on an equal footing, and they have some expectation of autonomy and individuality. And the kind of coalescing together is mostly just for purposes of force projection. So in terms of like in the server power, that's what that's for. But in terms of like culture, you're supposed to be separate. Would you say that either one of those systems is better, or do you think that each one has its own merits, and you can't compare them directly?
That is a tough question. I would say it each has its own merit. Because with having your own culture, and then you can get people with like-minded ideas that follow like that, and then can join that and follow that. The other one is you're mending three different cultures into one to meet a goal, to meet an objective. And then since I guess Sharky might have stayed a little bit longer if we would have actually got a full, I guess, win against Byzantine, and because it would, I guess we weren't getting a goal of actually like defeating them. I guess
Okay.
that was the point, or at least seeing good victories in that sense.
Yes.
Our issue was never field battles. It was always trying to win, like against a particular clan like Byzantine. It was trying to win against somebody like that, of
So
that
trying to
size.
collect a force together to be able to like combat some of the bigger clans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the
Correct.
background information for this is that, the Gondor is the biggest clan on PB.
And they also
Basically.
represent a unification, right? Or like
And-
a confederation, would you say?
The whole server was trying to take them down. And the first time there was a siege which failed, and we all know what happened with the jumping off the wall, etc.
The Great Leap.
Lothler's Great Leap. But then after that, there was another siege, which would have probably looked like it was going to be.
It looked like it was going to win. Like we're like right
but then
there.
Suddenly the server crashed, and then after that, there was something like an agreement between VK and Gondor, and I don't know how this is going to go, but it's true that people have been saying that PB is kind of dead right now, and hopefully that's going to change.
Well, I think is it going to stay dead is the question.
No, it won't.
think it's
It
gonna
won't.
stay
Once
dead
once
because
there gets a new
people
map, it's
play
gonna
this game.
re-energize or re-innovate people.
It always
It's
happens.
just part. It's just part of PB. It's the
I was
ebbs and
actually
flows of the
told. I
community.
mean, I know PB stays around forever. It's persistent, really, very much in that way. It's true. But I was told earlier today that PB will come around in about 6 to 8 months. Or do y'all think it'll be still here like next week?
I think it's mainly a map because people that don't have jobs and are on all the freaking time, they get mad because and get bored so quickly because they're always on. They need more content, and content's not being created as fast enough for them. So they always say, "Oh, it's a dead mod, dead this is gonna die." Yet there's still a sturdy amount of freaking people that still play this game. They play this game. There's nothing really like this in the mainstream gaming.
There really
community.
isn't. There is nothing out there. Even when we tried 5M to get the role play of it, it doesn't hit the same. Like we're addicts to this Bannerlord community and to PB, and we're always going to come back for more. It's one of those games that like there's nothing like it.
Because you can tell it's addictive for the people. Look, you got people that get banned all the freaking time. Why are they still coming back to a game they get banned on? You answer me that. Come on, like seriously.
I know the feeling. And yes,
I know
we
a
have
certain
Caleb
guy who
Cox
got,
and Jack in the
lawyers.
comments are.
Certain,
Oh, sorry. Caleb Cox and Jack in the comments are saying that it's definitely a cycle of the attention that people pay to PB and the death and rebirth. Honestly, and also Kel Marca says not really much RP anymore. I'm one of the people who thinks that PB will be back in 2 weeks rather than 6 months.
No, I think so. I
There's
think
enough
about
people
2-3
still
weeks
around.
we'll be back again,
It,
and
it
then
really depends
they'll
on when
flood
the
back.
map
Watch,
drops.
they'll
It
flood
really
back.
does. But also, another thing that really affects if you want more light RP, the rule set has to support it. If the rule set doesn't support it, you won't see as much of it.
Yes.
And the big clans kind of dictate how the server is kind of like overall played, or at least the feel and soul of the community is kind of dictated by the big communities,
Yes.
big groups.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then also,
they're the people who are going to set the tone anyway, or change it if it needs to be changed.
and then sometimes when it gets to this low pop too, when it's in the 20s and 30s, you will actually start seeing a lot more of the RP as well, because people are making content to make the game fun.
Yes. Yes. I had an idea. I was gonna keep it private, but just for whatever reason, I'll make it public now. I'm going to invite Sawman and some other clan leaders. I think Cookie. I'm going to invite Zach. I'll definitely invite y'all back, and whoever else I can get. I want to do an episode with all of the clan leaders that I can grab, and Sawman, who I think makes the maps for PB, and get like a discussion going about various topics, because we have a lot of people who love PB for various reasons and hate PB for various reasons, such as the size of the map. It's too big. It's not big enough, or like certain I don't know, restrictions, or like values and
The rule
spacing and
sets, the rule
rule
sets.
sets and everything like that. You also have a lot of disdain for the bandits specifically. Some people think we should remove bandits. I'm of that party that we should remove them. Because at this point, I mean, we can get into the reasons why. What I want to announce is that I will be putting that together eventually. That's the plan for a future episode. I don't know when, but eventually. Um, and I wanted to skip to this question from later, and then we'll skip over it when we get to the part where it should have been. But I want to ask y'all now, since we're on the topic, what role do you think PB should be playing in the NA community? Should it be like the fallback that everyone does when there's no events going on? Do you think it should be something for like some clans to practice on certain things? Do you think it should be somewhere where content is like made, or just like repping your clan, getting your symbols out there? Like, what should be the role of PB?
You know what? I think it's perfect what it is right now. It fills in the gaps to mainly play on, like all times of the day, because it's persistent. So because events aren't always popping on, it's something that you can jump in and play and be persistent, and it's always there. So when there's not an event going on, or it's not that once a month for chaotic campaign and whatever you have to get to,
Yep.
it's always there. It's something to jump in. It fills the need. It fills that empty space when you want to play Bannerlord, but there's nothing going on. Because there's not even with like the map, those battles don't even happen until like the wee hours of the night, and you still need other players to get on to play with it. Otherwise, MM's not happening. Same with the
And
skirmishes.
the
Like,
practicing stuff, you don't really want to practice in PP on that because there are consequences. Losing a fight, you lose gear.
Yeah.
What you want to
Okay.
practice is you want to use a native, like what duels or TDM or
mhm.
doing that kind of stuff. So you don't lose gear. You learn from your mistakes and you go rinse and repeat. Then you bring it to PB if you want to have a little bit of a change, because the characters or the classes, they're not the same as a native. They're tweaked to cater to the community.
Okay. And they're changeable, like negotiable?
Depending
that
on the
all
patch.
like
Depending on the
yeah,
patch.
on the
you're doing
patch,
it.
or it's dependent on whoever the server owner. So like Getty or the dev team, if they want to change it. But right now, I think it's in a great spot. Everything seems balanced and fair.
Everything's in balance
Yeah,
and fair. Okay, so you would keep it as it is, basically.
I like it. Maybe just change a couple of the rule sets to benefit. Maybe have something like a 5M rule, like they whoever breaks the rules or whatever, to assist them and give them some kind of like a timeout before they can rejoin the server or
Okay.
something like that. But they
And
have to spend in game time, and it has to elapse. So like when they do get back on, like they're getting punished and they can't really do nothing.
like
Like
in
the
jail,
global will be blocked.
you
Yeah.
have
So
to
like
serve
in
time.
Joe, that's something that I liked that 5M had, and it helped a lot with like quelling people that were like outlaws and drug dealing and stuff.
You know, it'd
those
be
real
great.
consequences.
It'd be great if in the next map we had like a big ship and we put like a brig under it, like inside
Hey,
of it,
hey,
and then that's
there's
the prison.
freaking the war cells coming in
Oh, you know what?
June,
There is. Yeah. I don't
and that's
know
gonna
how
bring
that's
naval
gonna.
combat because we did have naval combat in Persistent Empires, but the game's engine wasn't built around it, and it caused so many crashes. Now they're actually implementing that into the real game. It's not gonna take long for developers to learn that system and
Yeah,
bring it in.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I
And
think
not
that's
to
gonna
mention, you're
help.
going to get more armored and a new race to join in to get more like back culture and more assets. And from what I read on the thing on the war cells, weren't they going to give better developer tools, and that's going to help the devs out more significantly on making more
Yes, I
content
did
for
see that.
people.
I did see that in their patch notes. We have Kel Marka in the comments saying that the biggest issue, in my opinion, is the toxic environment that is allowed to thrive due to the PvP mindset that PB has become. I will say first, and then I'll kick it to Warbandman and then the guests. I think PB is meant to be constant war, but I mean also kind of cooperation and diplomacy, like is exemplified by some of the efforts of like Jaw and the Triarchy and Soul. So there is an active effort to make it fun by getting a collective effort going, and there just has to be like that active effort, and I think that's what we're trying to encourage here. But PB, I think, is supposed to be maybe like a PvP mindset, as long as there is the balanced nature of like FMGK was saying when he was here. You need the people who are fighting, and the people who are surfing, and the people who are crafting, and the people who are running logistics. I personally would love to just run logistics all the time, but you gotta have people who do everything. What do y'all think, Warbandman? What do y'all think of that comment? I'll read it again
Well,
for both of y'all and for the rest of y'all if you're not looking at the comments, because a lot of people listen to this at work. The biggest issue, in my opinion, is the toxic environment that is allowed to thrive due to the PvP mindset that PB has become.
well, I'll just say for myself, I haven't really played much PB, but I do know that it's not uncommon for players just to go out and start robbing whoever they see. And the idea is basically take their stuff, take their gear, which is worth something, and then it makes you feel good because you took something, and it can help you out in the game. And I guess that's kind of really when you boil it down. I guess that's what the mod is all about. Except the only other things are like surfing and maybe role playing
Yes.
and alliances, but most players are not directly involved in brokering alliances.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
So,
incentive to do a lot of the role play stuff. I mean, they're the map. That's another thing about the map, is that it's there's not a lot of courts. There's just bastions and farms, and that's pretty much it. But that's a
Yeah.
discussion
but
for another day.
it's kind of like, what do you expect people to do? It's a tiny map. Everybody's clustered together. You know, if you see someone moving around with gear on, what are you going to do? Take it from them.
Yeah.
It
Well,
doesn't even matter what faction they're in. It's just like complete anarchy.
I think a little bit
Yeah.
too has to do with just the engine itself. Because to be honest, the game wasn't really meant for what we're turning it into like an MMO live persistent sandbox. What I think would help, but would be something like Last Oasis has. You have like these trading zones. You can't do PvP. You can swing, but you can't physically do damage and hurt somebody.
Okay.
And they need something like that within like the town, the commoner zone. So it gives brand new people time to learn the game with the protection and everything like that. I know they're trying to do that with Town Watch, but it still gives the opportunity for the outlaw to hit them because nothing's
They had
preventing them
something
from
like
doing
that
that.
implemented in Persistent Empires, but it was only for like the a battle arena at certain times. Like anybody can like they had a special zone where you can do PvP, but at the same time, there was a mechanic where you couldn't do any damage like to them at certain times if they're in that PvP zone.
And I think that would help, like at least it's not going to eliminate toxicity. It would just like help it. At least new people who are coming into the game to learn it, or people that don't want to deal with that and they want to just craft and do the logistics, and they have the safety of that town watch of the commoner zone and having that, so they don't have to be instantly thralled into that. And that would help with, I guess, some of that, because then there's no way. Then the outlaw or like the sweaty outlaw person from MM's coming over there, like, well, they're going to be bored with that zone because they can't do nothing, so they're going to go find something else to do. So that would, I feel, would help, but I don't know if they would be able to get around to do that within the constraints of our dev tools that we have here, or the mod tools, or it's just not the capability of the mod itself or the engine.
There's only so much you can do with a rule set, and then the rule set only thrives when everybody actually reads the rules. So it's a give and take kind of thing.
Well, let's merge into the next section, which is personal and team motivations. So, as we know, there's a lot of unpleasant business that exists in the multiplayer Bannerlord community. And we just want to know, what is your response to that? How do you deal with it?
If it's something happening with my clan, what we can deal with on a person base, but if somebody is like trolling one of my clan members, I usually like, hey, dude, don't worry about it. Just step away. He's just trying to get a reaction. Leave it alone. Mute him, or just take a break. Go step out for a couple 5 minutes, and then or do something else, dude. Like walk away, go touch grass, as we all say. Take a break from the game for a little bit.
That, and also if it's something that's rule breaking, make sure you report it, record it, send it.
Mhm. Get the person banned, whatever. Like, because if he's doing something that heinous, that's like harassing or
Like
threatening a
raping
clan
or
member or
something like
whatever. But yeah, just report it. That's the cool thing in Bannerlord. They have pretty decent admins and stuff that will respond, and most of the time they get rid of it, and that's usually not a problem most of the time. But one, if somebody's like getting doxxed or somehow they got somebody's information, uh, do your best to help them. I've like Buddy Tintin. He got doxxed before, and then some of his stuff got hacked, and I had to help him go through some like IT stuff and make sure his firewall was protected, reset some settings on his computer, help him set up some of his router settings and make it secure, because he was dealing with that type of stuff. So I always try to be there for people, even people that are sometimes not part of my clan, and they reach out to me for advice or just help. Like, hey, dude, this clown's messing with me and it's driving me crazy. Like, what do I do? Like, or I just try to mentor and give them some let them vent to me or give them some advice.
Well,
And the other way of dealing with that too is, you know how they say, get good.
Well,
I'm sorry. I
think
thought that was funny.
the first response was a lot better than the second. But in terms of like, what do you mean? Like if somebody's like beating you constantly, like
Yeah, if someone's just beating constantly, you just got to train, get harder, get more numbers, or get some payback.
Or if you're a farmer, you have money, go hire some mercenaries. I hear there's a new Norway of Yaldum that's a mercenary clan. Even the VMC, man. If you're rolling in the money from building and farming all day, just hire a flipping crew and have them attack who you need.
that would be interesting.
That's always a good way to get back at people too. You have to be creative, man. Like you make the content. You make what you have.
It kind of is a sandbox, like Holokron said. You have to kind of make your content, but at the same time, that's how outlaws make their content. They go look for easy targets.
Yeah. Well, I think that was a very well spoken response. So, what overall are your goals for your clan? What are you headed towards? Are you more community focused? Or are you trying to get better at the game or recruit players?
A little bit of everything. A little bit a balance of everything. Trying to grow my community, trying to get more players, trying to improve my existing players' skill base and improve. And then trying to being out there. Like you said, not that many people know who SOEL is or Sterngard. Yeah, we're small. Well, we've been here for a while. We were in many different clans. We were called different, but most of the clan has been there for like a couple years now. What, going on 3 years now? So it's been a minute. and all the veterans. But yeah, but my main goal is just to get our name out there more, get more fresh blood and everything. I think we just recently we had 2 new recruits. Happened just because we're participating. Oh, 3. So just participating in these events and playing PB, and I think now I'm starting to get more into recording my stuff on Meadow and editing, and then I'm going to be adding it to my YouTube and stuff, and just getting learning some tools to edit and make a recruiting video and just get our name out there, just so we can grow and help the community thrive and more people playing. Makes the mod stay longer, or just playing in the community. And again, Bannerlord has a big player base. It's just not multiplayer. It's a huge community in single player. But if we can get like a piece of that pie from that community or that population into the multiplayer online, that'd be great.
Well, that brings us into the next section, which is how do you think that we could get those players, basically?
I think just
doing
what
exactly
we're doing now.
what you guys are doing.
Yeah, doing what you guys are doing. Make a pod, make your stream, and then I think you guys are doing probably better than what we can do.
Yeah,
By getting
there-
out there.
one of
I
our
feel like you
key
guys are
recruits-
going to do more for the helping the community than we are, because you're giving non-biased opinions and getting everyone's opinion of what's going on, which I think is great.
And also, like, people actually that got joined us was because some people were making TikTok videos and they saw us and they joined us. And that was
Wow.
one of them was producer Death, that he saw a TikTok video. Like, oh, I'm gonna go join these guys.
That's pretty good.
So it was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely honored to have so many people who are willing to come and have conversations and expose their style to the community, because that's really just the most important thing is having those points of reference, because when you don't talk to anyone, then everyone just is kind of just scared of each other. You either hate or fear what you don't know, and neither of those are productive to actually having a good game or growing to, events larger than 300 people. There are some, I mean, there are thousands of people playing Bannerlord right now, and there are thousands more of them who have no idea that there's a multiplayer. Um, and I will stress that point because I used to be one of them. So yes, I think it's great to talk. It's great to share. It's great to um, expand in that way. I don't know if y'all read many comments while I was gone. I was AFK for a moment. Um, have you gone through many of the comments?
No, we haven't gone through any of them.
Okay, so I'll read a few of them since I've been gone. Uh, I think allowing new players to learn the game instead of mass halting serfs, I think that's in reference to PB. That would be good. I will mention in the description of this video, there is a Google form. Um, a Google form where you can respond. It's meant to respond to the episode, maybe give ideas or suggestions or anything. If you have any suggestions or questions for that discussion that I want to plan with all the clan leaders and stuff for the PB thing, not as like a forcing people to do something or change the server. It's more of just like, here's what everyone thinks about certain issues relating to PB. If you have any questions or comments or concerns that you want from the community for us to bring up in that episode, please check it out. Check out the link. Let us know your thoughts. Also, we have.
About that, let me answer that one question before I
go for
forget.
it. Go for it.
About the new people in the community. At certain different iterations of persistence, they have done good and bad things with teaching the newbies. Sometimes it's good where they have someone dedicated taking care of people, teaching them, or giving them step by step like pictures. Because sometimes in one of the persistent empires ones, they had a Richfield area, which was the starting area. They had a bulletin board that was posted with pictures how to play, where to stay avoided from, instead of going to like a Google Doc to check out the rules. It was like a little tiny thing just to like in game teaching you how to play. And then at that time, people would actually go out there to Richfield to recruit people to teach them how to play the game. It just the ebbs and flows. Sometimes you just get on at the wrong time to learn the game, and then you get the bad side when people halt you and give you a bad experience. Because when I first played this Persistent Empires mod, I was about to quit. Holokron invited me in. the first thing I ever freaking witnessed. I'm trying to figure out the game. I get halted. I'm like, what's this halting thing? I get killed because I didn't know the
Yep,
rules.
yep.
I lose everything. I get pissed off because I couldn't chop down a tree, not knowing that you're supposed to be a serf
Yep.
and have the proper tools, doing the proper thing. I had to learn everything right, but like the long way. And then I find out I was on the wrong server. I was on the EU server and not the NA server.
That's
So I had
incredible.
no clue what I was doing.
And you were lagging the
I'm
whole
getting
time.
I was about to rage. I'm about to break my keyboard. Like, screw this game, screw this community. Nobody's gonna help me out. Then my brother teaches me, holds my hand, shows me how to actually play the game, and then I started enjoying it.
Yes.
It has a little bit of a rough beginning, but once you get the right people to teach you to play the game, it's enjoyable. There's nothing else out like out here like this. Like you
There
play
really isn't.
medieval type of like light role play action, and you have that that like thing of loss. You actually get that feeling. Well, oh, something's about to happen, and it makes you like, wow, that was kind of enjoyable, or wow, that sucked, or I'm having a good time. You get all these ranges of emotions when you're playing this game, which is good and bad.
Yeah, I mean, a piece says in the comments that the first 10 minutes I got drafted into a war. So like if you're able to join like a server like this, um, and you know your first interaction is like, hey, there's this big thing going on, you need to join us, or it's kind of like Skyrim. You get thrown into the middle of this conflict, you have to choose a side, um, and you go from there. You know, sometimes you're a soldier, sometimes you're a peasant, and
Oh,
it's the story that matters.
oh yeah.
Uh, I think that um, I think there would be, I mean, perhaps like a good idea would be to expand a little bit this spawn zone, like the safe zone, because I mean, as soon as I spawned in this first time that I loaded in, it was like there was already like cavalry running past me, people like bandits, everybody, and they couldn't touch me. I didn't know that, but it's like, you know, it's a bit jarring to just be right in the middle of everything and on the main road. Um, Perhaps there would be some kind of benefit in having in an expanded spawn area, like you said, with like a billboard, some pictures. I think there is a billboard actually in PB already, but something a
I-
little bit more visual.
yeah. Well, in other maps like before this, they had zones like that. It just happens that this one isn't because it's smaller. It
Small
has its
map.
own zone, but the way it's at, it's in the dead sap center, like on the way to one of the big two clans. You have Getty's clan on the right hand side, and then you have Goner on the left hand, and you're just in the center of it all, and that's like the main path where everyone goes to fight each other.
Yep. And
That
as
was
soon as you
just a
die,
horrible spot for the spawn to be, in my opinion. It should actually be in the center town, like the town square. That's where the newbies should be spawning, in my opinion.
that's a good opinion. Okay, so we will start drawing to a close, and the question I will ask, and feel free to put anything in the comments, you viewers, if you have anything you would like. You have about maybe 4 or 5 minutes until we skip you. But to our guests, I will ask, what is your, and this is a three-part question, what is your final message to the new players, the average players, and the clan leaders,
Okay,
specifically of NA?
okay, um, to the new players, multiplayer does exist besides just TDM and a skirmish. Just join a server, anything. Get into PB, and then PB is actually a good stepping point to getting to learn everything else out there. Because for PB, it was actually able to help me to get out there and learn different communities out there. There's more than just PB. You have like the MM community, product campaign. You have like OM's community, blood holds events. There's like even like NW where they do like lang battles with rifles and everything like that. And there's just a lot of stuff out there than this. And there's even like communities. All they do is mapping. They teach you how to make maps, how to code, and everything like that. And then being part of that, it helped me. I learned how to maps were made, what type of systems and coding we used. Being part of that team and just networking and getting to know people. That would
I
help.
think you missed the question. He's like, what would
Yeah.
you tell a new person when they're playing are playing into the game, what would you tell them for PB?
Oh yeah, just like your advice. Your advice
Oh,
to
yeah.
the new players.
Give it time, and then just keep learning. Don't let like your first interaction be a bad experience. If you keep going, you're definitely gonna meet somebody that's cool or somebody that you might like and get along and make a friend.
All right.
And then
Yeah.
the average player, for the average player, just keep playing. And if you get interested in the multiplayer stuff, just reach out, find a clan that you like, a culture you like, and you expand your growth or your experience from there. And then to the clan leaders, you said was the next one.
Yes, your fellow clan leaders. What is your message?
Oh yeah, definitely. If you want some kind of alliance, whatever, reach out. If you want to set up some kind of like skirmish battles, whatever, reach out. Sternguard of ISO definitely would like to participate in some of those battles or anything like that.
Okay, and
Set something up.
this is also a question that I should start asking because we have I should link it here in the description. I'll do that for future episodes. The server, the Discord server for the Order of Whispers, and that has a channel with the various clan links. I assume some clans are not going to be open to like public everybody joining their server, but is Soul open to kind of public attraction in the server? Do you have channels for private and public separation?
Yes, we
Yes.
do. We have people that just come and chill because we every once in a while we might have like an open like movie night and have like Kingdom of Heaven on or like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings.
We're kind of like a geek gaming community. We like to do all kinds of stuff.
People
We
could just walk in
stream.
there. I think we had Getty
Yeah.
show up there. I think War Boss might have just came in there and started watching shit, and then that's it.
Yeah, so
Then
One
you-
of us will stream it.
And it's another way for us to, I guess, keep in touch with other people that are not part of our clan, but they're just cool to hang out with. We have
Yes.
open channels that people can come in.
movie nights,
Mhm.
very important. Very important. Okay, well, Warbandman, do you have any final notes before we close?
No, I do not. I
All
don't.
right.
I think we covered everything.
I believe we have covered everything. We're not organized enough yet, but eventually I will, with permission, begin to announce the future guests, the lined up guests that we have for the show. I won't do it now, but we do have the next guests confirmed, the next few of them. And so the next episode should have less of a break than they had the past couple of days where we didn't do an episode. Also, if you there's the question in the survey in the description, by the way, go fill out that survey. There is a question there for people to recommend for the community outreach. So if you're just a regular old guy or a community member or anyone really, you want to come on, have a chat, tell people what you think. This is a public forum, so as long as you aren't a weirdo, then we'll have a chat. So everyone, have a good night. I love you and prosper. Anything else y'all want to say?
Yeah, thank you for having us on the show, and
Yep,
good luck in the
it
next
was enjoyable.
your endeavor. Yeah, had fun.
Yes, thank
Thanks
you
for
very much
coming.
for coming.
Thank you for having